Hello soulmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new to this channel, you are very much welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always stopping by. Thank you so much for always watching my video. So guys, in today's tutorial I'll be teaching you how to cut and also how to sew this beautiful corset top. It is very easy to make, so if this is something you're interested in, please keep watching. And before you continue watching, please like, comment, share and hit on that subscribe button. Also click on the bell icon so that you can get notified whenever I drop amazing tutorials. So guys, this is what it looks like with the skirt and the corset blouse. Welcome back guys. So this is the pattern we'll be using. So this pattern has shoulder, upper bust, armhole, bust, the under bust, the waist and the hip. So now I'll go ahead and draft a bustier. So for this bustier, if you're familiar with this channel, you will already know how to do this. So I just go down by 3/4 inches at my bust area. This is dependent on how busty you are. You can do half or you can do 3/4. Then I measure my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 from that short line down to the hip area. So I'll measure the same thing, then I will roll it downward. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to do my under bust tightening. So for this, I'm taking 1.25 inch to this bigger part and half inch to this smaller part. So I'll do the same thing at the under bust and the waist area. Then I will extend it downwards to the hip area too. So this hip line is also known as the blouse length. So depending on the blouse length you want to use, but I use 23 inches for mine. So you roll the line also downward. Then the next thing to do is to draw the curve connecting the under bust to the new short line we drew below the bust area. So just connect it like this. Then at this point, so you just connect using the straight part up there. So the next thing to do is to extend that line. Yeah, I extended it up to the upper bust area, which is also the chest area, and I took 1 inch to the right, 1 inch to the right and 1 inch to the left. So that's my upper bust tightening. Like I said, the upper bust is also the chest line. So that is what we have for that part. So the next thing is to now measure my bust, my waist and every other measurement. So you go ahead and you measure your bust measurement divided by 4, the waist area to your waist measurement divided by 4. Whatever you took out at this part, you add it back. And for the hip area too, you measure your hip measurement divided by 4. So what I took out here too, I'm adding it back. Then you will add additional 2 inches. I later reduced this, so keep watching to know what I did to the hip area. So you connect this upward, then you connect from the waist to the hip area. So you connect to the hip area. So because we want our waist to be snatched, I went in by close to half inch, like 1/4 inch, but I should have done half inch actually, but I just did 1/4 inch to be on the safe side. Then I just reconnected it just like that, just to snatch the waist a little, since we will still be putting the corset lacing at the back, so we can still snatch further. So I'm just reducing my waist measurement a bit here. So that was what I did. So the next thing to do now is to measure the neckline. So I want my neckline to be like 10 inches wide. So I measured what I have here. So if it is not complete, I added the remaining part at this other end. If you notice, I skipped this part, the upper bust tightening. You have to skip that part because it will be cut away. If you measure it with your neckline, it will be wrong. So for the sweetheart neckline, so I didn't want mine to be too revealing, so I just went from my upper bust to my armhole. So I just connect it like this, just from my upper bust to my armhole. Some people go deeper than that, but I don't want mine to be revealing. So this the part where I ruled out with marker at the neckline area. So if you measure it, it should be 5. So you go ahead and you cut out your pattern. So before we go ahead with the cutting, I went up by 1 inch at this hip area. This is to prevent that sharp edge we have over there. So I went up by 1 inch, then I trimmed that out. Then I also cut out all these parts we don't need in our pattern. So this is what it looks like. So I'll be taping this down to do some things later, which I'll be showing you. So this is the back bodies, and for the back bodies is easy. So I'm starting from my armhole to the hip line. So I don't need all those shoulder parts. Yes, and this is my measurement, my bust measurement, and the waist area, it has a dart. As you can see, the dart I took out. And for the hip, the same way we measured for the back, but I didn't take out anything since we didn't take in anything at the hip area. So now I measured 1 inch here. So I'm trying to measure the back the hip area for you. So I measured my hip with the 2 inches. So I didn't take in anything because we didn't take out any dart at this hip area. But for the front, we took out some things. So this line you are looking at over here is with your measurements, but I rolled this out because that's the corset lacing area, just to snatch the waist. So that's why I reduced it. So in case you want to use a zipper, you'll be needing that part with additional zip allowance. But for corset, we have to snatch, so we need an opening at that area to snatch the waist. And for that opening, we'll be covering it up with a modest panel later. I'll be showing you that later also. So I went ahead to label my pattern because the upper part and the lower part is looking similar. So I just have to label so I don't get confused. So this is the front pattern, and I've went ahead to tape it down. So I'm just drawing this scallop edge. You can do any design you want. If you check online, you'll see different designs of this kind of the lower part of this top. So you can do whatsoever you want at this area. So I want to be on the safe side. So I don't want to go too deep because this is my first time of making something like this. So I don't want to go too deep. So I just trim it a little. So even if it is short, it won't be too much. Yes. So I just went ahead to do this scallop something, this scallop edge. So I later adjusted it. You will see that as we move on, I later adjusted it. So after I'm done with the cutting of the edge, I will remove the tape. Then I'll go ahead and cut my fabric and the lining. So this is my fabric. This is my lining. So I'm using a Mikado for my top and a lining, an upper lining for the inner. So I added stay to everything. I added stay. So the only difference between this one is that, so for this other part which I labeled 2, I cut out the main fabric twice. That is, the main fabric is the lining and the fabric. So now let's just go ahead and join the fabric together and the linings together. So you do that for the front and also for the back. So this is the front lining. So at this part here, I'm just trying to roll out where the bust area is, like where the bust will occupy, just something like that, so that I can know where I'll be placing my boning. I don't want to place my boning close to the bust area. So I've ironed out the lines where I want my bonings to be, and my bonings will not get upward and also downward. I will show you. So this is this tiny strap I use as a sleeve. So for you may not need it, while some people they need it. So if you need it, it's just 2 inches. I cut out 3 inches, then I sew with ½ inch, then I turn it out and iron. So the length, I use 13 inches for my length. So if it is too long, I will hold it down inside, which you will see. So I've placed it where I want it to be on my neckline. Then this is the boning I added to this. As you can see, it does not get to the lower part. Yes, then I'll go ahead and sew. So I've sewn the neckline, and this is what it looks like. So this is what it looks like right now. So like I said earlier, that I retrimmed this hip area. So because I was noticing that this would be too wide for me and I don't want it to very wide too, just take out like 3/4 inches. I took out 3/4 inches on the fabric and on the lining. As you can see that I'm arranging them so that everything will be equal. So this is what I just did. I just trimmed it out. And the next thing I'll be doing is this scallop edge. So when I was cutting this, I couldn't do the scallop edge, but I wanted to do it when I was done joining. So I'm doing the scallop edge that I want now. So I'm folding the lining and the fabric together so that I can cut the two and they will be equal. Make sure you hold them together and you cut. So you do any design you want to do, you can cut it now. So like I said, for my own edges, I'm just freestyling. So I'm just freestyling on the edges. So after I was done arranging, I went ahead and I cut out the scallop edges I wanted. At this point, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I'm begging, please subscribe. And if you haven't liked this video, please like this video so that it can get to the right audience. So the next thing to do now is just to go ahead and sew this. So I'm sewing this with a 1/4 inch, not up to half. Then after sewing, I'll be notching it, notch gently so that you don't pierce through your fabric. So you notch gently. So if you notice there is excess at any part, you just go ahead and cut it off so that when you are ironing, this thing will turn out right. After joining the scallop edge, I went ahead to also join the side. Then I left an opening by the side also, which I'll be using to turn out the front bodies. So now we'll be cutting a modest panel. So for this modest panel, go ahead and measure the length you have here. So for me, I have 16.5 inches here. So this modest panel, we have to cut it in such a way that it will not interfere with the joining allowance. So now I measured 16 inches for my modest panel, but I'll be sewing with half inch. You know, when I sew with half inch, this modest panel will reduce to 15, and my blouse is 16.5. So even when I join the blouse, I have 15.5, so it won't disturb. So this is what I have. I cut out this, then I added facing, then I sew with half inch at the upper part and at the lower part. So this is what, so like I said, we need space at the upper part and also at the lower part of the blouse. Like there must be a distance between the modest panel and the blouse. So this is the space I was talking about. So even if I sew with half inch, see there will still be space there. So I'll go ahead and sew that. So this is my main fabric for the back. So this is the lining. So this is the lining. So this is the other parts. So I'll go ahead and turn this. I'll sew this round, but I will leave an opening for turning. So this is what it looks like after turning it, and this is what the modest panel looks like. So this is what the modest panel looked like. So I just sew on the lining. I sew the modest panel on the lining before fixing to the main bodies. So this is the front bodies, and I'm joining it to the back bodies right now. So after the joining, this is what we have. So now I cut out this fabric. So it's about 20 inches wide and the length is about 60 inches. So this is just like a draping, so you have to do it on a mannequin or on your body. So this has to be done on your body. So now for this side here, we have to add a boning to this side. So but I went ahead to join all this part. So what I will do is just to open one side. So I will show you very soon where I opened. So this is where I opened at this area. So I went ahead to just open this. I just opened it for my channel to just go inside, for my boning to go inside rather. Then after that, I fixed the eyelets at this part. So I still remain one eyelet at that area. So this is what it looks like at this other side here. Like I said, there are 3 lines here. So the first line here is for the boning, the second line is for the highlights, and the third line is for the second boning. So this is what the inside looks like. This is what the inside looks like, and you have to notch this waist area so that it doesn't fold up. So you have to notch it because it is a curvy area, so you just have to notch it so that when you're ironing it comes out well. So for this draping at the bust area, like I said, so the draping, after fixing it, I went ahead to hold it down at the under bust area. After that, the next thing you will do is to hold this down at the armhole area, just like this. So after holding it down at this area, I took it backward just to form a sleeve, then I held it down. So this is the tiny strap for the sleeve. Like I said, the excess, I took it inside just like that, which I'll be trimming off later. So now this part here, I just ended it by sewing. So I sew it from inside here, so this will cover it just like this. So that is what it looks like. And at this area here, so you can just add your applique, or you can just do a little beading. So this is what the shape will also look like. So this have to be done on your body or on the mannequin. You can't just do it on your hand because it requires a lot of adjustment. So for the lower part here, I just added these stoned trimmings. So I just added it, then I fixed it at the edge. So because of the stress of beading, so I just added this one, so this is faster. So this is what the top look like. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, it looks really nice and beautiful. So for the skirt, I won't be showing you how it was made, but I'll be putting the link up here, and it will also be pinned in the comment section for you to see. So this is what it looks like. It's just a simple straight skirt. Is a bandless skirt. So this is what it looks like. Like I said, I will link it up here, and it will also be in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.